morning, students. Okay, so in our today's class we are going to do exercise 2D. This is the last exercise of our chapter, and with this exercise we will finish our chapter. Okay, so in this exercise all the sums are word problems. Word problems means the question is given to us in words, and with those words we have to frame expressions. Okay, so let's see how to solve this. So the first question is, there are S sugar cubes in a bowl. Write an expression for the number of sugar cubes if I. That means the main question is, see, this is this number is the main question, and in this main question there are four sub questions. Okay, so the main question is, they are telling us that in a bowl there are S number of sugar cubes. Okay, they have not given us the number. Instead of the number they have given us a letter which is S. So in a bowl there are S number of sugar cubes, and with these given words we have to frame expressions for each of the sub question. Okay, so write an expression for the number of sugar cubes if I. That means the answer which we are going to get is the number of sugar cubes. Okay, so we have to write an expression for the number of sugar cubes which would be left. Okay, so the first question is, if I take out 6 sugar cubes, that means we have total S sugar cubes, and from that S number of sugar cubes, if we take out 6 cubes, how many sugar cubes will be left? That number we have to find. So in these word problems you need to know some words which relate to operations. That means if there are words like take out or we subtract. Okay, so that means we have to subtract that number from the given thing. Okay, so subtract means if it is take out 6 means it will be minus 6. It will not be 6 minus. Okay, taking out 6 means minusing 6, subtracting number 6. Okay, so it is minus 6. No, not 6 minus something. Okay, so this we have to take care about subtraction. Then if we have something put in or in add, okay, if these are the words, then we have to add the number. Okay, and for multiplication and division it is little different. Division, they would say that we share the thing in these many number of people, or in multiplication they would ask us like, if for 1 it is this much, then for 10 or for how many ever number, how much will be the resultant number. Okay, so that we will come to know as we solve sums and as we practice more. Okay, so the first sum is, take out 6 sugar cubes. So total how many sugar cubes are there in the bowl? There are total sugar cubes are how much? There are S number of sugar cubes, right? So the total number of sugar cubes is S. From now from this S I take out 6 sugar cubes. So taking out how many cubes? 6 sugar cubes. So from S if I take out 6, that means I have to minus 6 from what? From the total number of sugar cubes. So I minus 6 from S. So total there were 6 S sugar cubes, and from S I have taken out. That means I have subtracted 6. So this we cannot solve further because S is not a number. Okay, S is a letter here. It is a variable. So we cannot solve this further. So this is the number of sugar cubes which would be left in that bowl when I take out 6 sugar cubes. Okay. Then the second one. The second one is put in. If I put in 10 sugar cubes. Put in means I am adding more 10 sugar cubes in that bowl. Okay. So first how many sugar cubes were there? Total sugar cubes in the bowl before adding. Okay, total sugar cubes were how much? There were S sugar cubes. Now I am putting 10 sugar cubes. So put in how many sugar cubes? 10 sugar cubes. Okay, I have suppose 5 sugar cubes in that bowl before, and if I add more 10 to it. So if I add more, how many total sugar cubes would be there? It would be 5 plus 10, right? We add them to, right? So here the total sugar cubes were S. Instead of a number they have given us a letter, and we have added 10 to it. We have put more 10 sugar cubes in that bowl. So total how many would be there? S plus 10 would be there, right? So S plus 10 is the number of sugar cubes now in that bowl. Okay. First there were S, and adding more 10, it becomes S plus 10. Okay. So now the third one. The third one is, if I have 5 bowls exactly the same, that means in one bowl there are S number of sugar cubes. If I have 5 more bowls, okay, 5 more means if total I have 5 bowls. So how many sugar cubes total would be there in those 5 bowls? That we have to find. So in one bowl, how many sugar cubes are there in one bowl? In one bowl there are S sugar cubes. So in one bowl there are S sugar cubes. So in 5 bowls, how many would be there? See, if for 1 it is S, then for 5 bowls it will be S into 5, right? S multiplied by 5. Okay, here we have to not add 5. We have to multiply this by 5, because total in 5 bowls, how many sugar cubes would be there? That we have to find. So how do we find? If for 1 it is S, for 2 bowls it will be 2 into S. For 3 bowls it would be 3 into S. So similarly for 5 bowls it would be 5 into S or S into 5. Okay. So the answer is S into 5 total sugar cubes would be there in that bowl after, if we have 5 bowls exactly the same, then total S into 5 sugar cubes would be there. Okay. S into 5 sugar cubes. These all are the numbers of sugar cubes. Okay, they are not the numbers of the bowls. It is the number of sugar cubes. In 5, total in 5 bowls, how many sugar cubes would be there? So that is S into 5. Now the fourth one is, if I take out half of the sugar cubes. Okay, so in a bowl there are, suppose this is the bowl, and there are some sugar cubes in it. Sorry, these are cubes. So there are some sugar cubes in it. Now, if I take out half of the sugar cubes. So if I take half of the sugar cubes out, means what? I am removing half sugar cubes. So if I take out half from something, how much will be left? Half of it will be left, right? So half means what? Divided by 2. If we have 10, then half of 10 means what? How do we find half of it? We divide it by 2, right? So if there are S sugar cubes and we have to find half of it, we will divide it by 2. Okay? So total sugar cubes, how many total sugar cubes were there before? Total sugar cubes were S. Now, when I take out half of the sugar cubes, half would be still left, right? If there are total, suppose 10, if I take half of it out, half will be still remaining, right, in that bowl. So that, what is that number? That we have to find. How much number of, how many sugar cubes would be left in that bowl? So half sugar cubes will be left. What half? Half of what? Half of the total number of sugar cubes. Okay. So we divide this total number of sugar cubes by 2. Okay. So this is the answer. These many sugar cubes will be left in that bowl. Okay. So you have to little bit, these are all application based sums. You have to little bit think over it and then frame the expressions. Okay. So this little bit it is difficult, but if you frame the questions, if you go by the words properly, you end up with the correct expression. And if the expression goes wrong anywhere, if the framing of the expression goes wrong, your sum, everything, the whole sum goes wrong. Okay. So you have to be very careful when you frame the equation, frame the expression, because once the expression is framed, we are going to use it further. Okay. So if it would be like, suppose solve it further, then you have to, that expression which you have framed, that has to be correct. Okay. So this was the first question. We will go to the second question. Okay. Now the second question. The second question is write an expression for the perimeter of the given shapes. Simplify your expression where possible. So you have to find the perimeter of these given shapes. Here this is a rectangle and this is a figure which includes two rectangles in it. We will solve it. Afterwards we'll first see this one. So here this is a rectangle and we have to find its perimeter. So here the length of this rectangle is 4x and the breadth is 3x. Okay. So first we will write the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. So perimeter of a rectangle P is equal to 2 into L plus B. Now first let me tell you what is the perimeter. Perimeter means the sum of all the boundaries. Okay. So here how many boundaries how many sides does this rectangle have? It has 4 sides, right? This is the first side, this is the second, this is the third one and this is the fourth one. So there are 4 sides. 2 of them are lengths and 2 are breadths. So this breadth is 3x, if this side is 3x, this side is also going to be 3x, right? And if the length is 4x, this side which is opposite to it is also going to be 4x. Why? Because we know for a rectangle the opposite sides are equal. So this side and this side are opposite sides, they are going to be equal. And the bottom side and the upper side, they are opposite sides, so they both are going to be equal. So if this is 3x, this is also 3x. So now this is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. How does that come? We have 2 4x sides, so it is 2 into length. There are 2 lengths and there are 2 breadths. Okay. So we have 2 multiplied by length plus breadth. So why there is a plus sign here? Because to find the perimeter means we have to add all these sides. So we have to add 4x plus 3x plus 4x plus 3x. Okay. So if I start from this point, I go from here to here, means I travel 4x. Then from here to here I go travel 3x. From here again I come here and travel 4x. From here again I come back to this point where I had started, and this again I travel 3x. So this means the sum of all the sides or the boundary, the total boundary of the given figure. Okay, perimeter means nothing but the total boundary, the sum of all the boundaries. Okay, so here this is the formula which we have for finding the perimeter of the rectangle. Now in this rectangle, what is the length? What is the length of this rectangle? The length is 4x. And what is the breadth? The breadth is 3x. So breadth B is 3x. Okay. Now we have to put these values of L. L means length. We have to put this value of L in this formula and this value of breadth in the given formula. So we have to put the values of L and B in this given perimeter formula. Okay. So P is equal to 2 into L plus B. So what is 2 into L? What is L? L is 4x. So I put 4x plus, now I put the value of B. B is 3x. So I write 3x. So this becomes 2 into 4x plus 3x. What is 4x plus 3x? 4 plus 3 is 7. We have seen this before. In the before exercises, we have seen how to solve these expressions. So this becomes 4x plus 3x. They are common terms, like terms, because they are both x terms only, so we can add them. So 4x plus 3x becomes 7x. Now this 2 is multiplied to 7x. So 2 into 7 is 14 and there is only 1x, so 1x will be carried. So this is the perimeter, the total perimeter of this figure, this given rectangle. Okay. So the sum of all sides is 14x. So like if suppose we don't want to go according to this formula, if we just simply want to go, we have to add this, all the sides. So how can we do that? If suppose I have, the first one is, see, I go on adding all these sides. So the first one is 4x. So I write 4x, then I add 3x to it, then again I add 4x to it, and then again the last side which is 3x. Okay. So it is 4x plus 3x plus 4x plus 3x. So this is 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 7. After 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11x, 11 plus 3 is 14. So total we get 14 x. Okay, so even if you don't use the formula, it is okay. You can just simply check the figure and add all the boundaries. Okay, so this is equal to this. Okay, so anyhow you do, the answer is going to be the same. The perimeter of that figure is going to be the same. Okay, so the first question. Now the second one. In the second one, here this is the figure. Okay, here it contains two rectangles. Okay, if I put a line here, this is the smaller rectangle and this is the bigger rectangle, right? But we don't have to go inside it. We just want these boundaries. Okay, so these boundaries we want, the length of these boundaries we want. So here this length is given as x. From here to here the length is 4. From here to here the length is p. From here to here the length is 3. But we don't have the length of this side and this side given to us. Okay, so we have to find that. So how will we do that? See, if this is p, then this side, this is a rectangle, this side is opposite to this side from here to here, right? So this side, if this side is p, this much is also going to be p. Why? Because it is opposite side of a rectangle. So if this opposite side is p, this side is also going to be p only. Okay, so I write p here. Okay, now for the bigger rectangle, if I see, this is the bigger rectangle. Here this side is equal to x. So the side which is opposite to x, which side is opposite to x? This side. From here to here is the opposite side of x. So if this is x, this is also going to be x. Why? Because they are opposite sides of the rectangle, right? So the total length of this side becomes how much? P plus x. It is not p into x. Okay? The total is the sum. This much distance plus this much distance is p plus x. So this total side is going to be p plus x length. Okay? Now we have to find this much side. So how much will be this side? See, from here to here, up to here it is, suppose up to here. Okay, from here to here it is 4. So for this particular rectangle, now we know that this is the opposite side. 4 is the opposite side of this much part, right? So if this much is 4, opposite side of this rectangle is also going to be 4. So this much part is going to be 4. From here to here it is going to be 4. Okay, why? Because it is the opposite side. Now leave this rectangle. Okay, now we are talking about these two rectangles. This is one and this is the second one. Okay, so for this rectangle, now this 4 and this much side is opposite. So if this is 4, this side is also going to be 4. Now for this much part is opposite to what? It is opposite to this 3, right? These two are the opposite sides of the rectangle. So if this side is 3, this side is also going to be 3, right? In these cases, you just have to imagine a little bit. This is a rectangle and this is the other rectangle. So this side is opposite to this side. So they both are going to be equal. Okay. So we get this as 4 and this much as this much as 4 and this much as 3. So total how much it would be? This from here to here, the total length is going to be 4 plus 3, which is equal to 7. Okay. So now we have got all the sides of this figure, the length of all the sides. So here, this is not a particular, it is not one particular figure. It is not a regular figure. If we split into two parts, we get two rectangles. But if we find the perimeter of these two rectangles by the perimeter formula, we will include this side also. Okay, the dotted side which is there, that also would be included. But we don't want the dotted side. Okay, we just want the outer boundary of this figure. Okay, we just want it like this. How much is this? This we want. Okay, we don't want any line which is there inside, over here or over here. Okay, so we just want the outer boundary. So in this case, we are going to solve it this way. Okay, just by adding the lengths of all the sides. So let's start from this point. Okay. So from here to here, what is the length? From here to here, first the length is, so we are finding the perimeter of this figure. So perimeter, from here to here the length is x. Okay. Then from here to here the length is 4. So I plus 4. Then plus from here to here it is p. Then from this point to this point it is 3. Then this length is p plus x. Okay. So total I write it as p plus x. I write in bracket. If it is this is total, then I write in bracket. Okay. It doesn't matter when there is a plus sign outside, but it matters when there is a minus sign outside. Okay. So whenever the total distance, if you write, if there are two terms in it, you put brackets for it. Okay. Now the last one, this total is 7. So I add 7. So I started from here. I went this side. From here, I have come back to this point. So I have covered all the sides of this figure. So now I have to add all these terms. So first I remove this bracket, x plus 4 plus p plus 3 plus, now here there is a plus sign outside, so it doesn't make any difference. So this p plus x will be as it is. Now there are like terms in this. There are x terms, there are p terms, and there are constant terms also. Right? So I write the like terms together. So x plus p plus 4 plus 3 plus 7. Okay. So this becomes x plus x, p plus p, and these constants. X plus x is 2x plus p is 2p plus 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. So this is the final answer, the perimeter of this given figure. Okay. This is not a rectangle. It is a random figure. Okay. So this expression gives us the perimeter of the given figure. Okay. So in this way we have applied, we first made expressions for it, or using the given expressions, the formulas, we have solved it and we have found out the perimeter of the given figures. Okay. Now the third question is, the first sub question is, write an expression for the total cost of K pens at $3 per pen and P pencils at $1 per pencil. Okay. So first let me tell you what does per means. Okay. $1 per pencil means for one pencil it is $1. Okay. So one pencil costs $1. Okay. So here we have to write an expression for what? For the total cost. How much will be the total cost of total of what? Total of K pens. How many pens are there? K pens are there. And how many pencils are there? P pencils. P number of pencils are there. Okay. If the cost of one pen is $3 and the cost of one pencil is $1. Okay. So first I will write how many pens are there? Number of pens. How many pens are there? K pens are there. Right. And cost of one pen. What is the cost of one pen? Cost of one pen, $3 per pen. $3 per pen means for one pen, the cost is $3. Okay. So $3. Now I write for pencils. Number of pencils. How many pencils are there? They have given us that there are P pencils. P number of pencils are there. Okay. And cost of one pencil is how much? Cost of one pencil is $1. $1 per pencil means for one pencil the cost is $1. Okay. So if one pen costs $3, then what would be the total cost for K number of pens? Okay. So one pen costs $3. So for K pens it would be what? See here, in place of 1 K has come. That means K is being multiplied to 1. So K into 1 I get K. Okay. So here also I have to multiply by K. This is very simple. You've been doing this from your 5th or 4th standard onwards, from your lower classes. So we know that if the cost of one pen is given, then what would be the cost of how many ever number of pence they have asked. So for 1 pen if it is $3, for 10 pens it would be 3 into 10. Okay, so here similarly for 1 pen if it is $3, for K pens it would be $3 into K, right? 3 into K. So this is the cost of K pens. How much? $3 into K means we can write it as 3K, right? So $3K is the cost of K pens. Now we will find the cost of P pencils. So the cost of one pencil is how much? They have given to us one pencil costs $1. So similarly P pencils will cost how much? $1 into P, right? So this becomes $1 into P is P, right? So this is the cost of P pencils and this is the cost of K pens. We have to find the total cost. We have to find the total cost. So total cost means the cost of K pens plus the cost of P pencils. Okay, so the total cost will be, total cost is cost of K pens plus cost of P pencils. Okay, so what is the cost of K pens? We have found out it is $3K. So that is $3K plus cost of P pencils is $P. So $P. Okay, so the total cost is $3K plus P. Okay, this is the total cost for K pens and P pencils. Okay, so this is our final answer. Now the second question. The second question is, write an expression for the cost of hiring a taxi to travel K kilometers if there is a fixed cost of $2 plus $0.50 per kilometer. That means a person has to travel K kilometers. How much the distance is? K kilometers. But so to travel K kilometers, he has to pay some amount, right? And that amount is, the cost of traveling is $2 plus $0.50 per kilometer. That means for 1 kilometer he has to pay this much amount. So if he is traveling for K kilometers, he will have to pay this much amount multiplied by K dollar. Okay. So the first we write the distance. How much distance does he have to travel? He has to travel K kilometers. So total distance is K kilometers. Okay, K kilometers. Now the cost of traveling is this much dollars per kilometer. So cost per kilometer means for 1 kilometer. Per kilometer means for 1 kilometer. So the cost for 1 kilometer is equal to, they have given this also in words. It is $2 plus. Plus means what? I put a plus sign. Okay. So $2 plus $0.50. So how do we add this $2 and 0.50? We write 2.00. 2 means what? 2.00. Plus we have to add 0.50 to it. So this becomes 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. Point we write down and 2 plus 0 is 2. So the total is $2.50. So the cost is $2.50. Okay. So the cost to travel for 1 kilometer is $2.5. So what will be the cost for K kilometers? He has to travel for K kilometers, right? So cost for K kilometers, capital K, they have given us capital K. So cost for K kilometers will be $2.50 multiplied by K. Okay. So 2.50 multiplied by K, I can write it as 2.50 K. We don't know the value of K. Okay. So this we keep K as it is. So this much is the cost for traveling K kilometers at the cost of 2 plus $0.50. Okay. So the total cost, how much does he have to pay? He has to pay $2.50 K to the person who is taking him by the taxi. Okay. So this is the last sum. Now we are done with the exercise and we are also done with the chapter. these sums, the word problems, are a bit difficult. You require some time to understand it properly. You require some time to frame the expressions correctly, but that becomes better by practice. Okay, so you have to practice more and more sums based on this. You have to practice them so that you get the words. What are the meaning of the words, and how do we connect it with the mathematical operations. Okay, so what operation has to be done in place of that word. Okay, so you need to understand that. Yes, so we finish with the chapter. We will meet in the next class. Okay, students, goodbye.